The Apex series of irons have launched and are available now to get. So I am down at Mount Juliet Estate visiting the Callaway Performance Centre to get fit for an entirely new bag of irons. I personally have a very long history with Callaway, and the very first set of golf clubs I ever got when I was 11 years old were Callaway Great Big Berthas. I love them. I'm really excited to be getting fit here now at Mount Juliet with Matt Sandercock for an entirely new bag. I am here at the Callaway Performance Centre with Matt Sandercock, the Director of Golf here at Mount Juliet. Callaway Apex range, the irons, they've just launched, or they've come out now pretty recently. I'm going to get fit now for these. What can I expect? And I guess what's the different variations of irons? Because there's not just one head. There's
no, you're going through three. So obviously you have the Pro Series, the CB, and the MB. So MB is more targeted at your tour player, your really low handicapper, much more high performance in relation to a spin rate, but much less performance in regards to tech. Then your CB goes up to a little bit more forgiving, kind of the cool looking club. And the Pro Series is really the club that's the most useful for everybody. I
kind of know where I want to go personally, but I'm always intrigued by whenever we get together and look at the numbers.
It was so much option, you know, when you're talking of different lofts and lies, lengths, and different heads now. I mean, the best thing with the Apex Series, you can have a combination set and they look great in the bag. So there's no difference between using a different head shape now. It's a lot neater. So let's see how we go. We'll start with the All 7 iron for some numbers.
Okay.
See how they're looking, and then we can see what improvement there is to be made.
I like to see a left to right ball flight. That's obviously a trend amongst every aspect of my game.
And these clubs you have here currently were fitted just a few years ago, maybe, or something like that.
Yeah, about 3-4 years ago.
Perfect. So we've had a fit already. We know what we're doing.
Yeah.
We'll just tie it into the new brands and see where we're looking at from there. What sort of yardage would you normally look at for your 7 iron? If I said to you, here's 7 iron, go on a par 3 tee you want, are you looking for a 160, a 150, a 170?
Mid 160s to 170.
Yeah, perfect. And you find the spin rates are okay? Do you get a lot of release in the summer on the greens? Or do you find they'll dig in quick enough?
They dig in quick enough. It drop and stop pretty quickly. What are you looking out for, I guess?
Well, realistically, I want to check on spin rates, make sure they're kind of as they should be. You don't want too much spin. You definitely don't want not enough, because not enough is releasing hard. You know, when you're starting to see where your impact is, you can really start to work out if a spin number is actually accurate. When you pull it across then into a table, you can say, well, I actually hit this one better. Or what does that look like? Yeah, it does look better. You know, your spin number is fine. It's 200 rev short, but no problems. 170 in carry.
Okay.
If you look at your dispersion of these shots, which really is where I'd like to say someone like yourself, a lower handicap,
should be tight.
Like you've only hit the green 3 times. Like, brutal honesty of it brings you into that category of. So you've hit 3 out of 6 greens on that chart there. We need that to be much tighter, and that's generally coming down to your spin rate. Your yardages are good.
Yeah.
That dispersion's varying with strike, which is also then affecting spin rate.
Yeah, that would.
So that's where it is. We'll have a little look at the Apex. I think first what we might start you on is you're in a 120 modus. We may just go straight into exactly the same as a start point, because I think if we have an Apex modus combination, it gives us much more of a balanced start as to, is that 120 shaft really the thing, or is it the head? Ideally, I'd like to say that you're fading a few. But you want to see that, which is a good thing. So we can't really affect lie angle too much in the upright dispersion unless we start to lose left.
Sure.
So if we get left, we may get too upright. We might end up putting in a 1 degree flat, just generally given to height, but we can check that anyway with a strike point. Strike's pretty central. You know, it's just the fact that club face is a little bit open. So we're going to start pretty comfortable for you there, Johnny. So you're going to be in the Tour 120 modus, and we're going to put you in the Pro Series. Now you're in a club that's usable, so it might be a little bit of a shaft change. Sure. But let's see how we go. See how the weight affects you. See if it changes any release points and patterns. A little look on the head there. Something I really like with these is they are a little bit offset when you sit them down. So it makes the hands go forward at impact, which is a nice look for me. Helps get rid of that one that's going to fade too much as well. You know, gives you a bit more control of the ball. To me, it looks like you're struggling to move the shaft. Looks a little bit laboured. As in, it could be playing a little bit heavy. Like a 120 modus can be a bit too much. We're going to chuck you into a regular here. It's going to be a stiff. We're going to stick with that same head.
Sure.
What we're going to go is going to put in a dynamic gold of the mid here now. So this is now coming in at 115. Just a 5 gram difference.
Sure.
Different family of shaft, you know. Modus, dynamic gold. There's quite a bit of difference in feel.
Yeah.
So it's the dynamic gold for this year. the mid 115 in the stiff, okay?
So we've gone 5 grams lighter.
5 grams lighter. Just change across the shaft family, see if it helps with the release pattern, just to see where we are here.
Definitely feels a lot more controllable.
Straight away?
Straight away.
From the weight feel, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big difference.
You can get through that so much easier.
You'll start to feel the tip helping.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just that 5 grams, but again, the 5 gram can completely change when you're gonna pull on the club or when you're not gonna pull on it, you know.
Big time.
So obviously ball speed's coming down a little bit there. Probably due to the forged feel, I would say. Have a little look.
Feel like there's a lot less resistance on the downswing. Cause it's just, I guess that's just also because it's lighter.
Just a better weight. I mean, that one there, you struck more of the middle of the club head there. Spin rate's gone up. So we just need to see where we're sitting.
Spin rate's gone up a lot.
A lot, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's due to now you're going into a forged head. You know, so that's kind of a compromise that the better player will go into, is maybe using something that's forged is great from the feel basis. We're just going to change this head lie angle a second, because I just want to see if this will also help us or not.
So we're in the same pro head, but the lie angle has just gone down one.
Yeah, we're going to take it to 2 flat.
2
okay,
flat.
just to see if it allows that club to get through to centre up strike. I'm going to stick with that dynamic goal for a minute. I'm quite happy with that shaft. Right now, I'm just really keen to see how it plays.
Sure.
Again, you might start to feel a little bit easier going through the ball again, being that little bit flatter.
Yeah.
Obviously, launch is picked up quite a bit. How's that feel in flat? Sit-wise, look-wise?
It feels okay.
It doesn't feel too awkward, does it?
Feels maybe like...
Too low?
Maybe a little low.
How's the weight of that shaft feeling?
Shaft feels good.
Feels
Shaft
smoother?
Feels nice, yeah.
A bit easier to move?
Definitely, like I was saying, like less resistance rather than, I guess, with the heavier shaft. I probably felt like I needed to
Well, I think what
swing
happens
hard at it.
is you get a bit, you pull on it a bit hard from the top. When it gets a bit heavy at times, you try and jump on the ball, and that's then where you get the ground strike, or you have to release really early to try and get some movement, and the next thing you know, you've gone the other way.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends really what the outcome is we're trying to find. Are we trying to find more distance or not?
I would say
more greens than not.
I'd say we're trying to hit more greens just for my own game.
Yeah, especially the handicap you're at. All the good stuff we're normally doing when we're fitting woods and drivers, and in the basis of you're picking up this, you're picking up that. This is more around we're hitting greens 5 yards shorter, but hitting the green, hitting the green, hitting the green. That's the difference in a good player to a player just looking to hit it further and get a different style of scoring.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
nice.
That feels really nice.
What we're also doing there is we're putting you in that flat 2 degree. I think would put you in a flat 1.
Okay.
And the reason for that is that when we go in the standard lie, your impacts, even just now in the standard paradigm, it's causing you to get a bit stand up, and you're kind of just struggling. In that slightly flatter, you appear to be able to clear easier and get through. I mean, that's generally due to the way the flexion of the shaft is. It's coming through the ball. I mean, like, your numbers there are pretty good. Spinning a bit higher, you know, we know that, but then you're hitting off a mat. That also adds a little bit of spin rate. Always kind of one to be aware of when getting fit in that if you're hitting off of a mat sort of time, spin rate's higher. Numbers are pretty good there. I want you to hit one or two more with that. Okay, I'm happy with the dispersion point starting to form, which is what we're really looking for.
Yeah. So with these, instead of trying to chase distance or gains, our objective is really just trying to narrow the left.
Narrow dispersion. Hit green, be tighter dispersion. We're honing it in quite quickly. Like, we are going to need 1 flat. We are currently looking at 105 to 115. Definitely in the ballpark between the two.
Sure.
120 is too much, 95 not enough.
Yeah.
That's obvious, that's feel based. Try doing the standard head again here to see if it does affect start line.
Sure.
That's what our main thing is here. And there's a slight change in shaft as well, back to that mid 150.
Mid 115. Okay.
Yeah.
And so we're still on the pro head here. We haven't even looked at the CB or MB.
Strike point and spin rate are going to drop you probably 15 yards. And I think that's too damaging. You know, to drop 15 yards down. We might try a CB in a minute to see if it changes flight. But I still think that the Pro Series is where we're looking at currently. And we'll try a CB just in a second. But that's more out of curiosity as opposed to do I think it's going to be right now.
And if people wanted to look at like a blended bag of going from...
Definitely. So this is where this season I'm in a Pro Series 4, 5, 6. And then I'm in 7, 8, 9, 10 iron in a CB. So obviously the 10 iron's back. The wedge is gone. So that's to me, that's a great little story, because now it's getting to the point of the wedge bank's becoming numbers anyway.
Yeah.
It's gone from being a wedge, gap wedge, sand wedge.
To your 50,
I haven't
54.
carried a sand wedge since I was probably around 12.
Sure.
It's been a 54 and a 58 or whatever. So having the 10 wedge it's kind of cool, right? Yeah, it's a bit of fun, but at the same time, it just carries on the number story. So you go 10 to 54 to 58. I think when you sit them side by side, we've got here, this is the Pro. A big part of it here as well is if you are walking down the fairway, no one's going to know that's 2 sets of iron.
Yeah.
So it's a really neat way Callaway have done it.
It felt nice.
Quite nice.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really nice.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't feel like I need to do as much with it.
Definitely.
Like with the 105s, I didn't feel like I needed to
do too much.
It feels like the club is
It's
doing a lot
helping
of
you
it.
here. Yeah. And that's what we're looking for. Golf's hard enough. You know?
Yeah.
We don't need to make this game any harder.
Yeah.
Interesting difference here. It's half an inch longer than standard. That's
Really?
Yeah. What it's allowing you to do is it's helping a bit with the tack angle remain consistent. The other ones in standard length, you've been getting down to a -2 at times, and then going the other way and throwing down on a -6.
Sure.
Last few shots, you've been averaging -4.9. You've gone from -4.7 to -5. That's been your spread.
So
all of a sudden we've leveled
0.3%
up.
spread, right.
We've also put you back into the standard head there. I'm going to try the flatter head, but I think what we would do definitely for you here, due to your issue, if anything's kicking the spin too high, we would strengthen these irons by 1 degree, just to give you a little bit lower launch. 18 is kind of the maximum I want you launching these at, given the spin rate.
Yeah.
The other heads there, even when we hit them just now, they'd all have to be strengthened because they're coming out at 22s.
Yeah.
So you're just getting a bit too much.
A bit too much
up.
pop.
Yeah, I mean, looking through the swing number, we know that's why. It's because we're getting a bit
handsy with
a bit flick and a bit chop, right? So if we can knock off a degree of that from the off, then let's take advantage of that.
Yeah, yeah. For sure.
You know.
Nice.
Lovely.
Yeah.
That's lovely shape. Let's just make it a little bit harder for a sec. We're chucking the CB, okay?
Okay, cool.
Really happy with that shaft. I think we're definitely there. That half an inch longer back into the 115 dynamic gold is good for you.
Sure.
We're going to put in the CB and just see how that feels to you. I think this is a lovely looking iron. Very similar
really
to the TCB of the previous series.
Yeah.
Great looking club. You see a lot of this club on tour next year, I think. And yeah, it's just it's pretty. It's got everything you kind of want in it. A little bit slicker, less offset, a bit smaller head, just like the game.
That does look very nice.
It's lovely. You know, I wouldn't say otherwise, not just because of the brand we have here and who they are, but I do think it's a lovely looking club.
I kind of also like the less offset look.
I'm the same. This is where the combination can come in. My irons is 456 Pro. These are then strengthened 2 degrees to come in. Now Callaway have made them perfectly balanced that they do blend in. However, for me who hits the ball very high, I had to knock that 2 degree off just to get that ball flight started. Yeah. Otherwise the gapping was a little bit out. So having that fit for the combo is a wise idea. Good. Good. See that height come out?
Yeah.
Straight away. It's like, so that's that different ball flight in player. You know, it's gone fine.
Sure.
Struck nicely, gone straight, ball speed's good.
Just that launch angle, that 22 number.
Yeah, 22.7.
Yeah.
So that,
whereas we were at 18.
Yeah. And that's where dropping that launch height can be really good, you know, and that might be where you do go 4.56 like myself in the Pro Series. So you get the launch in the longer iron.
Yeah. But then
7 down, you drop it to penetrate out that 7, 8, 9 wedge.
Yeah.
Last thing you want is a wedge ballooning up and going nowhere. Lovely.
Yeah.
So the combination set could work. You're not changing too much in relation to ball speed.
Yeah.
Flight we could definitely work on as you look through it.
And again, like this is the same 115.
115, half an inch
Again,
longer.
it just doesn't feel like you have to try and.
You're getting a lot
fight
more
it.
for it, and that's the big thing. I definitely put you in 1 flat because I think that's going to be something you do need just
Across
to
the
stop
board.
that ball pulling across. And then if we go 1 flat and then just put 2 on the CB, you're going to be up there, 2 degree strength in it, just to keep that flatter flight initial, not up the end of it, because your apex is 91. your Pro Series apex is 81.
Okay.
So you're hitting it higher, which we expect, but still the 81 could still get higher. 100 would be kind of the optimum we're looking at. So that's not a problem. Your swing speed's exactly the same in both. Your ball speed is slightly slower, as you'd expect from Pro Series down
From
to
these
CB,
heads, yeah.
but it's only a mile and a half, so it's not going to be massively noticeable when you go 6 to 7 iron, because we're going to bridge the gap through. You don't need initial launch, so CB can work for you. We can strengthen it down a little bit to get the drive out. Your attack angle is so much more consistent now we've got you in the half an inch longer. It doesn't seem to have caused any issue for you. Your face angle's good, no problems there. I'd probably say if you're going in this range, you might want to look at a 23
Okay.
in a UT.
I've got a 21 there in the bag.
Yeah, so they have 23, 20 and 18. So these are great.
What would this replace then in a bag? So I've got
You'd be bringing in, instead of your X-Forged you already have, so you're just going to be just changing over, that's all. I mean, you may look to bring, I'd look to go 4, 5, 6, then I go UT, but I bring mine in at 20. So you might drop 4 iron and go 23. Have a hit, see how you think, you know, having the extra options, the fact you can now build sets as opposed to buy sets.
Yes.
Like,
it's massive, isn't it?
Oh, it's a big difference for
It's
everybody involved.
It's such a big opportunity for more players.
Yeah. Lovely.
Yeah, it's nice.
If it was me, I'd probably be saying to you, you'd be going 4, as in this is your 4 iron.
Okay.
5.6 Pro, 7.10 CB. Because when you look at hitting a 4 iron, 197, there's a little bit more forgiveness there again than there is in a Pro Series. So now you're going to go UT, 5, 6, 7 wedge.
So you go what, 21,
and then
23.
Because now you're getting rid of that 4 iron. Is it, what is it? For me, so 23, I'd actually have in a half an inch longer. I'd blend it in and then go 5, 6 in the Pro Series, again the half inch, and then I'd go 7 to 10 in the 2 degrees stronger CB. Flatten them all 1, everything 1 degree flat. It's just going to give you that bit more space to get through the ball. I think what it's created is it's suddenly created a ball flight and spin numbers correct, that actually you're driving the ball out as opposed to just lift off. Spin is more because they're forged. That's what it is, you know. That's the player we're looking for. That's what this market's built for, is good players wanting to get better. Combination sets are there, and when you tie it into UW, tie it into the Paradigm Wood range, jaws, wedges, you know, there's like it's countless opportunity. Half an inch has probably been a big change that I didn't obviously know you had with the driver, so that was stumbled across that one nicely. Yeah, and I think that's where you sit, really, Johnny. So Pro Series, CB, and a UT.
Perfect.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. See you soon.
Cheers.
Thanks for that.
So there you have it. I'm going to be in the 23 degree UT at the very top of my bag. Then I'm going to move into the Apex Pro for a 5 iron, 6 iron, and then finish it all off with the Apex CB from a 7 iron all the way through to the 10 iron. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you could, please like this video, subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.